Hello and welcome to the final turn, night 2 of Compass Games' Tinian the Forgotten Battle by Ross Mortel, Jig Day Scenario 1. Yep, it's the last turn, and we're, I think, quite poised on who's going to win this, which side's going to win this. However, one thing I will do is there is a special rule for this scenario, which states, I'll read it out, that at the start of either the night 1 or night 2 turns, the Japanese may place up to 4 Banzai markers on Japanese stacks adjacent to American units at the start of the turn. So which means that you can announce that normally when you want to do a Banzai or an assault, you do it the turn before. But here you can place the markers so that when you activate, you actually do the Banzai in the same turn. So I think we will actually avail ourselves of this, and we will put some Banzai markers down on these 3. I think that's the best thing to do. I'm wondering whether we should do this one. The thing is that when you place the Banzai markers, then all adjacent must actually attack as well. So we're looking to try and get these attacked. If we do that, then the surrounding units, which we actually want to stay in place, will join in. Yeah, actually in that light, I think we won't do this hex because that will pull in these units. So we will only put Banzai markers on, of course you put it on the targets, which are these 2. Yeah, we'll do that. So Banzai marker there and a Banzai marker there. So this makes opportunity fire against the attackers at a +3. However, it gives the units a +3 troop quality and removes all their status markers before they do it. So it makes it a lot easier to actually kill the Japanese units coming at you. But however, if they get to you, they'll actually get a troop quality bonus on top. Yeah, I think if we get these units to join in, it would be good if we could get a leader there as well. Do we have a leader? We actually do have a leader, don't we? Yes. So we do have a leader that's going to join in here, so that's fine. Good. Okay, so that done, we're on to our dispatch points. And with our dispatch points, certainly with the army, this is relevant, they have 3 dispatch points, so we will use 2 to actually put in the Imperial Army activation. And for the Navy, I think we'll use 2 points to put in the Imperial Navy activation as well. They've got the spare points. They're now down to 1 and 2 points each. The Americans, they only have 3 points at the moment. But I say we don't really need it next turn. There isn't a next turn, so we will pay 2 points for the 4th Marine Division to go. But that means we only have 1 point left, and so we can't activate anything else during the turn. Or the Navy units may, because they've got 2 points left. Still, right. Okay, so we'll roll for the dispatch point, although it's not particularly relevant. Actually, it might be, because then you can add into that. You can use those dispatch points during the turn, so it is actually quite relevant. Looking at the Navy, which is a 0 or 1 to get 3 points. They get a 6, so they just get 1 point. That does put them on 3, however, so they have possibilities. The Army, which is a 0, 1 or 2, gets a 4, so just the 1 point. Again, that does give them possibilities with those 2 points. And the Americans, which is 0 to 4, get a 6, so just the 1 point as well. So there are enough to do some interventions if necessary, an intervention per division, I think, here. Right, so we've put those markers in. Let's get on with the turn. So the action phase. Make sure we have everything here in the cup. We do, because the Navy air support and the amphibious movement chits are not in there for the last turn. So let's have a chit pull. Right, and we have the wind. Well, that's not going to be amazingly useful. It does, however, remove that illumination marker and that heavy barrage and illumination marker there. Okay, let's pull out another one. So that would be Japanese Army. Okay, so here we go. Now, first thing is leaders, and we have a leader down here, but I also want to add this leader in as well. He's has no stripes, so therefore he's available to be used anywhere, and I think we will place him here. Okay, and from there we look for support weapons. So with the support weapons, we do actually have a white stripe anti-tank gun here for the army. We haven't really pulled the army out really since they've had many units here, so that can be assigned. I think we will assign. This is the unit here. If we can get it right up to the camera and get some. There we go, with a +1 white, so variable. And we do have the engineering unit underneath here, and I think we could put it here. I'm not sure how much use it's going to be, but let's do that. We might as well. An HMG, which was in the reallocating box, goes to the available box now, but won't be useful for the game. Done support weapons. The next thing, of course, is prepared assaults, in which case we are looking at the Banzais here. Right, so Banzais are slightly different to prepared assaults. Shall I say, more extreme in what happens. So the Japanese can only use one indirect unit to help in the assault, which is what we'll do first. Then with all the units that are charging, I believe we actually remove all their status markers. And okay, suppressed pins and DG markers are removed. So all these units get these markers removed. They are of course in column now to do the charge. There we go. Right. Right, the big thing about this is that any DGs that happen onto the Japanese units actually convert directly to losses. So we're only talking about 3 units here, so it's actually quite a little bit fragile, shall we say. But okay. Right, the next thing we need to do is to do the artillery. So we will call in these 2 artillery units here. two factors into there. They've not got much chance, 2 into here and 2 into here, not got much chance of doing any damage, because it's night time, so it's a -1, and there's no illumination rounds, and yeah, the defensive hexes as well. So it's all on zeros here because they're only 2s. So the top unit gets a 0. So that's actually a DGS on here, which helps. Suppressed is very interesting. And here, again, we're on a 0. We get a 9, which is nothing, I'm afraid. Okay. I believe we would get a smoke counter as well on here because of the size of the artillery here. But however, each of those provide a +1 in the combat. Okay. Okay, the Americans do have the option of retreating, but I don't think we should, because that'll just let those units in and they'll count for victory points. So we've got to stand our ground here. Right, so we provide opportunity fire. Okay, and what we've seen here is this unit is actually suppressed, so it cannot, and that's a big thing actually, a really big thing. But here we can, so this will fire back. It's an opportunity fire, and what that means is there's this heavy machine gun unit with this kind of bullet symbol here can do sustained fire, which means it can fire opportunity fire, and then you don't put an opportunity fire marker on. The hex can fire again. We've only got one opportunity fire to do here, but we will do that. Put that marker on. Okay, so yeah, this is the marker here to show you. So I'm trying to get a focus on this camera. Is not doing very well at the moment. I think it's probably by the light level. But anyway, not to worry. So it's on sustained fire here. It's a 4-5 small arms against this hex here, which is -1. So that's a 4. 0 on the defense value, but +3 because they're doing a Banzai charge. One thing I did forget is that there is, I believe it's a special rule. Let me check. It's to do with the illumination rounds. Let me just find it. Okay, no, it actually, yeah, there was a special rule about the Americans being able to place illumination rounds. However, that's only for Gyokusai, and this is just a Banzai charge. So, yeah, as you were, ignore me on that. So we had 5 going to a 4, because the sugarcane, +3, which is a 7. And anything else? I don't think there is anything else. It's a 7. So let's roll that. We rolled a 0. So a 0 is actually not that great a result, because suppressed is irrelevant. You ignore it, and the but we do have a DG, okay, and normally that would eliminate the unit, yeah. However, again, in Banzai charging we have a special rule which says that if you have a leader in the hex, if you eliminate the leader, you can round down the number of DGs you get. So if this leader is eliminated, then this gets half a DG rounded down. So yeah, so they yeah, because the DGs are converted to losses, 2 for every 1. So we had a 1, okay, and it's kind of round up if you like. So 1 is still a loss. That leader gives us the ability to ignore the loss. So the opportunity fire is finished and the unit is still alive. Okay, so once we do that, we compute odds for the assault. Alright, so for the assaulting player, the odds are, well, it's a 1-to-1, because it's 1 unit versus another unit. So 1-to-1 there. A 1-to-1 is normally a -3. Okay. The troop quality bonus for the marker, and that is actually a +3 for the Banzai marker, wherever I put it, here. Any status markers, there aren't any, of course, because it's a Banzai. Add a leader, we don't have him anymore. Indirect fire unit, we add 1 from the shot there from the artillery. So we're currently on +1. And the troop quality of the assaulting unit, and the troop quality is 5. So we're on +6 for the Japanese here. I think that's everything we have. Okay, so +6, we'll put that for the Japanese on a 6. Now for the defender, we have the terrain value plus any fortification markers. Now there is no foxholes here, so we just have the sugarcane. So that's so we subtract that. So that's a -1, a +1, effectively. The defense value is 0. Any status markers? Okay, so the troop quality on a status marker, and we haven't provided that here. We haven't got one here. It's over here. Then that's there. So again, that's 0. Any leaders? Their troop quality modifier is affected, and again, it's not here. It's over there. So we're still only on the terrain value, which is +1 at the moment. And finally, the troop quality. So the troop quality is a 6. So 6 + 1 is 7. So this is a very even fight. So we have +7 for the Americans versus +7 for the Japanese. So we roll and add those. So effectively a +1 on the dice for the Americans. So let's roll the dice, and well, we get a 1 for the Americans, but we get a 6 for the Japanese. So the Japanese win this, but effectively, what is it? 12 to 8. So the results of that is, that you add that number of DGs to the side. That's a difference, and the difference, of course, is 4. So 4 DGs are applied to the defender. Okay, Um, So that means that actually the Americans survive. They have four DGs here, but they do actually survive the combat. It's not vacant. So the Banzai charge is repulsed. The actual unit here survives. Okay. Yeah, I think that's all. Yep. So didn't work, but almost did. We were effectively one pip of the dice away. Now this one here is quite interesting. So so just calculating here. So we have a 3 plus 1. Talking 5 values. Silly. So we have 1 to 1, which is a -3, plus 3 for the Banzai marker. Okay, and anything else? I don't think we have anything else. We do have a leader, so we're actually having two units actually attacking here. So it's 2 to 1, it's 2 to 1, not 3 to 1 actually. So that's just a -1. Bear with me here, just going through the calculation. So initially a -1. Troop quality bonus makes it a +2. So we're on 2 here. Any status markers? Of course, there isn't any. Add the leader, troop quality modifier. So a leader here is a +2, so that makes it to a 4. That makes it to a 4. +1 for the indirect fire unit. Remember, we had our artillery up here on that hex, which did the suppression, the very good suppression. And the troop quality, of course. So 4 plus 5 means we have a +9. Okay, sounds pretty good. Right, on the American side, the terrain defense value is a +2. And -2 converting into a +2. So we're on 2 here. Defense value is 0. Status markers, troop quality and status markers. So the status marker is nothing for the disorganized, but -1 for the suppressed. So so you subtract that. So that pops back down to a 1. So that suppression was very useful. Add a leader, we don't have one. Lowest troop quality, so the troop quality of all the units is 6, so that turns into a 7. So 9 versus 7 on this. And so let's see how this goes. So 9 versus 7, which is essentially a +2 to the Japanese. That comes out, we got a 6 and a 4, so that actually comes out even. Now that's really interesting. So what happens when the rolls is even? You add 1 DG to each assaulting hex and to the defending hex, and then the assault is over. Okay, so each assaulting hex. So the Japanese are not going to do well out of this. Let's put our smoke back on here. So 1 DG is added to the American unit. However, for the Japanese units, we have 1 DG here and 1 DG here, and we have to take them as losses. So that unit is actually eliminated. And here, we would have to eliminate that unit, but I think what we could do is lose that leader to save the unit. So that's what we'll do. So the upshot really of that is the Japanese got nowhere. Even though they were quite good assault attacks, they just weren't quite good enough, and ended up with Japanese casualties out of it. Very close here, of course, but didn't quite succeed. And that's the prepared assault Banzai charges. So then we're back to sorting out deployment here for the unit. So we will. I don't think we can do anything with these guys. Everybody else, I think, are deployed, and I think we want to stay deployed. Yeah, we have a. Well, that's the wrong colour, isn't it? We want a sustained fire marker, which is purple. Right. Yeah. So we don't want to change the deployments. We're just after the actions now. So the actions really, well, we can't really get into anywhere particularly here. So I think we could fire, but is the fire going to actually do anything? The answer is not really. So I think we will just rally so that these guys can at least hang on. Certainly these ones anyway. These guys, we have this guy can turn over. We have a bit of firepower here. I know we've got the -2 here for the level 3, but he's not in the zone, so he kind of doesn't matter to the results of the scenario. So these guys can fire. That's 4, 5, 6, because you've got the engineering unit here. We don't use the gun. We only use one support weapon. So 4, 5, 6 -2 is a 4 into this hex, which will be a -1 for the sugarcane, -1 for the hero. So that's 4. That's a 2. So rolling on a 2, we get a 2. And that was high explosive, I believe. Yeah, because of the knee mortar. So a 2 is 2 DG and an R. So this goes up to a level 3. And we roll for we get an 8 for the route, which will be a 6, 7, 8, 7, I think. So yeah, they are pinned. So it's done the job pretty much what it was meant to. Well, it didn't actually eliminate anything. Okay, I think that's all we can do as the army. With any direct commands, we have some. Possibly I might actually do a direct command to fire off these guys onto these guys again, and I will also use another direct command to remove this, rally this down again. And what the hell, we'll use one more to fire this guy off as well. So here we've got the same again, the same roll again. It will just, it will be a 2. So to roll that 2, we may be able to just do something to that unit, that American unit there. We get a 1. So a 1 is DGR star. So another disorganized doesn't quite get us there to the elimination. And we're already pinned, so to be honest, the R doesn't matter. You can't get worse than a pinned. So that didn't quite work. If we got a 2, that would have eliminated the unit. Okay, here we'll fire into here. So we have 4. Actually, I've just thought. I've forgotten the knight, haven't I? So the 2 I rolled before would be only a 1. So actually, and a 1 would be a 0. Well, the 1, yeah, the 2 wouldn't have hit last turn because it would need to be a 1, but it did hit this turn. So that actually only, it was level 1, so we go to level 2. Patch that back up, forgetting about the knight, and we need to roll the morale check again of 4. They're fine, so they're not actually pinned. So yeah, let's okay, here we have 4, 5, 6, -1 for the knight, 5, -1 for the sugarcane is a 4 high explosive. So with a bit of luck, we might get something good here. We get a 2 high explosive. That is now a 2 DG and an R. Unfortunately, that doesn't really do anything fatal to that unit. And we have a roll for the morale, and oh, that's close actually. So it's 6, 5, 4. Oh, actually, the flamethrower there does add. So, well, it doesn't change anything. Does change the defense value though. So, yeah, so it's 6, 7 for sugarcane, 6 for the flamethrower, and 5 for the troop quality of the disorganized. So yeah, they fail. They are pinned. So come back that pinned marker. Great. Sorted that out. I think that's all. Yeah, so that's the direct commands done. So it's the next chit. And this one is the Americans, the Marines. Okay, so the Marines, well, they've got to sort out where their leaders are going. The leaders, let's see if we I'm wondering whether I should put in here just as a sort of defensive thing, give the troop quality. So I think the leader will go here. This leader's fine here. This leader is fine here. Okay, so support weapons. We've got a flamethrower coming back, but won't make it. It's just into the available box now. And so we have the prepared assaults to do now. So the prepared assaults, this one is removed because there's nothing there. Or I suppose if well, we can move into there anyway, so it's irrelevant. Over here, no, it's not irrelevant. Right, so we have a prepared assault here. There's no opportunity fire possible from this unit because it's an artillery unit. So the charge goes in. We will put in, well, I think first thing we will do is we'll use a mortar to put a illumination round in. Oh, no, we can't do that, can we? Because we haven't got fires yet. So it just has to go in under dark. Okay, so but that's not really going to affect anything, is it? Good. All right, so we have one unit here versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 6 to 1. So 5 to 1 or more is a +2 for the assault modifier. We will commit an indirect fire unit. So say this one. In fact, we'll probably commit 2. These 2 will fire in support, and that will give us a +2 because we can do more units with the Americans, more indirect fires with the Americans. The Japanese can only do 1. So a 5-to-1 gives us a +2. Troop quality bonus for the assault marker is a +1. Yep. So that's 3. Let's mark this down again, shall we? So 3. And any status markers no on the assault, no. Add a leader quality marker, so there's a +2 here. That gives us a 5. And any indirect fire units, yes. There was 2, so that's a 7. Can find it. And finally, the troop quality value, which is a 6. That gives us a +13. Okay, the defender has the terrain defense value and fortification value. So that's a 1, 2, 3, 4 for the defender. So it's +4 already. Defense value of the unit is a +1, so that becomes a -1. So it's down to a 3. Again, let's get the here. Any status markers affecting troop quality, it's a yes, so that's down to a 2. Here we go. There's no leader, and the troop quality is 3, so that comes up to a 5. So that's 5 versus 13. And let's roll the dice and see how we go. So it's a 9 for Japanese, 6 for the Americans, so 6 plus 13. Yeah, I mean it's 19 versus 14. So yeah, a big win, and this unit is removed. I'm sure the Americans are all very happy about. It's been a pain. The pillbox goes as well if there's no units there, and a unit where it needs to advance. So sorry, these guys needed to have turned over to column, and those will advance into the hex. So we've got rid of 1 unit there, which is in the perimeter. Now we've just got these 2 guys left. I don't think we're going to be able to get this guy done at all. It's just too hard. I don't think... actually, we do have these guys here, which we need to sort out. They haven't had the chance to flip over yet. So we need to do some firing here. Right. So let's fire from here first up. Actually, what I will do, I forgot about that, is that we'll put the leader over here. 4, 5, 6, 5, 4 for night. Oh, actually, let's do some those 2 units. This unit will illuminate to get rid of that. So 4, 5, 6, 5 for the sugar cane. So it's on a 5. Get a 6, which is a miss. Okay, more combat here. We've got a 4, going down to a 3. Again, it's a miss on a 6. We don't really have very many other people. We've got this 2, which goes down to a 1. Oh, actually, what do we like on... Oh, there is a +1 here. So, so this one originally was a 5, wasn't it? And we rolled a 5. So that actually did hit on a 5. The second one missed, but the first one did hit. And on a 6, we're on small arms, it's 2 DGR. So, okay, that's something. And the R, we do have the leader there. We have a 3, which I think is a pass. We've got +2 for the leader, plus that and the defense value cancel out. So +2, -1, and it's a 3. So they have a 4 and we rolled a 3, so they're all right. Okay, and finally we have this guy here. So that's a 2, 1, that's a 2. Winding forward again, and we get a 0. So a 0 small arms is a DGS. So it goes to level 3. And a suppressed marker. Oh, that's not a suppressed marker. Here we go, suppressed marker. Right, and I think probably what we're going to try and do is spend some direct commands here to get some more firing on here to see if we can get rid of this guy. Okay. Anything else? Oh, well, we'll rally that. We will. Should we fire this on here? Yes, let's. So that's 4, 5, 4, 5, 6, 5. We need illumination. So let's use one of the mortar units to do that. And in fact, we will use a second mortar unit to illuminate that guy. So 6, 5, 4, wasn't it? So it's 4, 5, 6, 5. 4 for the sugarcane, and 3 for the defense value. So on a 3 here, and this is high explosive. We get a 3. High explosive on a 3 is 2 DGR. Ooh, right, so that gets up to 3. This firepower is having an effect. Still didn't get a 2 for the it's on level 3, wasn't it? And an R result. Roll the morale. Got a 0, they're fine. Okay. Then we will also fire this unit. So that's 4, 5, 5, 4, 4, 5, 4, 3. So it's a 3 high explosive. A 6 is a miss. Here, all we can do is move the pin marker. Here we can fire into there. That's 4, and that's 4, 3, 2. Small arms. A 4 is a miss. Here we remove the suppress marker. Here we remove the sustained fire anyway. And we will rally these guys, definitely. And that's about it, I think. For normal activations, yes. Okay, so direct commands. We are definitely spending a direct command for this guy here to fire into here again. 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 6. So yeah, a 9, nothing. And we have a, yeah, we have an HMG which breaks. Not that relevant. Okay, another direct command here, and we will get this unit of 4, 4, 5, 4 in here. A 0. Okay, small arms DGS. Already suppressed, so it doesn't matter, but the extra DG puts them on level 4. Oof. Very close. And we'll actually use another direct command here, so that's 2, 2, 1, 2. So 4 is a miss. Damn, okay, so we haven't quite got rid of that guy. Do we want to spend any more? We only have 2 left. Yeah. So, try and get rid of these guys. Yeah, I think so. I don't think it matters actually too much which hex it in. We can do that one. So that's a 4, 5, 4, 3 here, and 8. It's a mess. And what the hell, we use our last one to fire from here, which is the same again. So it's a 4, 5, 6, 5, 4, 3. A 0, right. Nah, still doesn't do it. Oh, actually, it's high explosive, isn't it, with the flamethrower? Firstly, that's a fire. Hurrah, we have a, well, not hurrah, but, you know, there's a fire in that hex. But also, that's actually a 2DGS. So the 2DG causes the loss. So, that means that that unit is eliminated. And illumination rank can go because it's a hex that's on fire. So that's progress for the Americans. That's another unit gone. Right. Okay, we haven't got any more commands, so that's it. We've got another chit to do. And we have the event chit. And the event is, hopefully it's not that 4VP. We had a 5, you're kidding me. Yep. It's the Japanese 4VPs. The civilian suicides takes it up to 7, and that's a win for the Japanese. Just yeah, well, it'd be slightly better, I think, if we have these units survive. That's annoying, and we've used up our martini. So, okay, another chit, I suppose. And we have the direct commands. That's rather deflating, isn't it? So direct commands, we actually have 6 for the Navy. And we get 8 halved is 4 plus 1 is 5. So they actually get 11. And the Army is a 6, which is 3 plus 2 is 5 as well. So the Navy, we can rally with 1 direct command here, and we've activated that unit, so we'll flip it over, and the rally is the rally. That's 1 point. Can't really do very much else, to be honest. I mean, we could illuminate some units, but we've lost our spotter down here. We can only illuminate units here. I'm not sure it's not worth anything on the direct command, so I don't think they'll do anything more. On the Army side, we will activate we'll activate these 2 guys to flip over. They failed in their charge, but never mind. And we'll activate these guys here. So it's 1, 2, 3 there. We'll attack into here. We might get a loss here. So that's 4, 5, 6, 5 for knight, 4 for the sugar cane. So on a 4 high explosive, it's a 6, it's a miss. Okay, that's it for direct commands, and we're almost to the end. What have we got here? We've got the Navy. So the Navy, well, this is mainly about the artillery firing here. So we have a spotter, so we can illuminate one of these units. Let's make it this one, shall we? So this guy will illuminate, and we will then send a round in from here. 5, 4, 3. So that's 3 indirect. That's an 8, which is a complete failure, but we do get a heavy barrage. And we'll try that again, shall we? So 4, 3. Yeah, 4, 3. A 2. A 2 is a DGR. Great. Not make a lot of difference. That's a DG, and the R roll is 6, which would be fine. There's the leader there to add in. Yeah, it's not far off, but no, that's not going to affect the unit. And that's kind of all that can happen here, really. There's no other firing, so that's yeah, that's that chit done, and we're down to the final chit, and it's direct commands for the Americans. So we roll and add 5. That's an 8, which is 4 plus 5 is 9. So okay, and we should then be able to actually activate for firing to try and get rid of this guy. So the heavy barrage is paid to that. So we will do firing from here. We'll activate him. So that's 4. He's flipped over now, so he doesn't provide a +1 on the defense value. So it's 4, 3. So it's a 3. And rolls a 3, and that is a DGR star, but the DG is enough. So this here, this leader goes away. That guy is lost. So that's well done there. We only have this hex still occupied by the Japanese. And I think for a bit of self-preservation, I suppose we should attack maybe from there. That's a 4, 3, 2 roll there. That's a 3, which is a miss. We do have our artillery, so I think the only guy who can get there is this chap. So we will fire with him, and that'll be a 6. 5, 4, 3. I think there are foxholes there. So that's a 3 on indirect. A 5. That's a miss. Heavy barrage, of course. And that's that, really. I don't think. I mean, there are spare dispatch points on the Japanese side to spend, but I don't think it's really going to change matters. So that's the end of the turn. That's the end of the scenario. And totting up the points. So we have 7 for the Japanese already. And just looking for the chart here. 7 for the Japanese already. Here we go. So for each eliminated American unit, so we have 2. So we add it to 9, and that goes up to 9. For each, for each Japanese unit within the historical jig day area at the end of the scenario, we have 1, which is this unit here. So that's another, goes to 10, and that's it. And the final score, if we have 9 or more, it's actually a major Japanese victory. I know it doesn't look like it, but yeah, that's a major Japanese victory. quite something really. Couldn't get any better than that. It's 9 or more and we got 10. I think it's really helped to have those 4 victory points that came from the random event. If we didn't have that, if we only had 6, that would actually be a minor American victory, which sounds a little bit better, to be honest, a bit more reasonable. So I'll kind of call it both ways. It's a major Japanese victory by what happened, but if you ignore the VP, the freebie 4 VPs, it's actually a minor American victory. Anyway, so I did say at the beginning of the replay, the playthrough, that I might want to morph this into the full scenario. So I haven't decided yet, and I'm actually off on holiday for a couple of weeks now, so I'll kind of ponder and leave you all in suspense. So whether we come back to this or not, we'll find out in a couple of weeks' time. Until then, thanks for watching. If you got this far to the entire playthrough, it's been quite fun to do. The game's very interesting. I like some of the mechanics, not too crazy about a couple of other bits and pieces on it. But yeah, hopefully it's given you at least an idea of the game and also the game system, because of course the other ones are very, very similar to this. And yeah, may help with purchase or not purchase decisions that you're going to make. So until next time, where we might actually expand this, or we might have something else, but it will be a few weeks, a couple of weeks at least. So until then, thanks for watching.